Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, the Cubs are setting off to Cincinnati to face the Reds for the first of 3 games in this weekend series. The Cubs and Reds are separated by half a game for the top of the National League Central standings, so this is a critical early season matchup for both teams. The Cubs, coming off losing 3 out of 4 to the Braves, are going to try to rebound here in this Cincinnati series. Now, we're going to see that there's going to be a little bit of tinkering to the lineup here today, with the Reds having a lefty, Wade Miley, on the mound. Josh Phegley is going to come in, and he is going to spell Amaya as the catcher today. Now, the Cubs are sending Tarik Skubal out to the mound to make this start. Skubal is making the start because of Chris Sale being suspended from his last appearance. He is making appearance number 8, Skubal is, with a 2-2 record, .450 ERA, and a 1.06 whip. The Cubs lineup will be Hoerner, Correa, Rizzo, Springer, Braun, Santana, Phegley, Skubal, and Paradas batting 9th. For the Reds, Wade Miley will be on the mound. He is making start number 5. With a 2-0 record, .462 ERA, and a 1.14 whip. The Reds lineup will be Friedl, Van Meter, Castellanos, Suarez, Mustaka, Stevenson, Gregorius, Akiyama, and the pitcher Miley batting 9th. Now, Nick Castellanos is coming into this game with a 169 batting average. I'm very curious to see what his batting average looks like at the end of this game, or this series, I suppose. It is 51 degrees here in Cincinnati, a little cooler than when we left Atlanta. Wind blowing out to right at 9 mph. And let me just tell you, the weather is always a factor when we play the Reds. Now, Wade Miley is on the mound for Cincinnati. Nico Hoerner stepping up to the plate. Hoerner facing Miley here in the top of the first inning. The Cubs coming in with a 15-10 record, second place in the Central, battling the first place Reds, who are 15-9. So, Miley is on the mound, facing Hoerner. Here comes the pitch, and a grounder back toward the mound. The pitcher has it, he throws to first, and Hoerner, speeding down the line, makes it safely to first for an infield single. So now, Hoerner's on first, and Correa is the next batter. Top of the first inning, nobody out. Correa waiting for the first pitch, and he lines that one into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Rounding second and stopping is Hoerner. So now the Cubs have first and second with nobody out. Anthony Rizzo is the next batter here in the top of the first inning. Cubs trying to get on the board early in this game. Wade Miley facing Anthony Rizzo. Here's the 1-1 count and the pitch, and I'll drive to center field, going back. That's going to be high off the wall. Rizzo looking for extra bases. He is going to cruise into second with a stand-up double and be credited with the RBI as the Cubs take a 1-0 lead. Rizzo now has 16 RBIs on the season. Hoerner scores on that play, 1-0 Chicago. And now George Springer, the batter, with 2 men on and nobody out. Here's a full count pitch, and he takes outside for ball 4. That'll load the bases. So the Cubs now, with the bases loaded, nobody out, Ryan Braun stepping up to the plate. He's facing Miley here in the top of the first inning. 1-2 is the count. Braun waiting for the pitch. He's going to pop that one up to deep center field. This is going to be plenty deep. Going back as the center fielder, he'll make the catch and throw it back into the cutoff man. The runner, Correa, tags up and scores from third, and now the Cubs have a 2-0 lead. So, Braun credited with the RBI sacrifice fly, and it brings up Danny Santana. With 1 out, 2 men on, top of the first inning. 1-2 is the count, and Santana takes strike 3 looking on the outside corner. That is the second out of the inning. Stepping up to the plate now, Josh Phegley with 2 outs and 2 men on. Miley facing Phegley. 2-strike count. Here comes the pitch, and a pop-up in foul territory. Chasing is the catcher, and Stevenson makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs score twice. They strand 2, taking a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the first inning. And now Skubal will face the Reds' leadoff hitter, T.J. Friedl, here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-2 is the count. Skubal looking to deliver the pitch, and Here it comes. Pop up to left. Coming in is Braun. Looking up. He will make the catch for out number 1. Josh Van Meter now the batter. With 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Van Meter. There's a drive down the left field line. He got all that one. That's going to head to about 15 rows deep down the left field line. 397 feet from home plate. And now the Cubs have a 2-1 lead as the Van Meter home run cuts the lead in half. It brings up Nick Castellanos with 1 out and nobody on. 2-2 is the count. Skubal pitching to Castellanos, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a slider, and Castellanos swung right over it. So now Eugenio Suarez is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Skubal working with a full count. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 is called. Got him with a fastball at 94, and Skubal strikes out 2 to end the inning. We go to the top of the second. It's a 2-1 Cub lead. Skubal now leading off for the Cubs here in the top of the second inning, facing Wade Miley. Here's the 2-ball count, and Skubal grounds it over to first. Picked up by Van Meter. He steps on the base, and that is out number 1. Paradas the next batter with 1 out, nobody on. 1-strike count, waiting for the pitch from Miley. And there's a grounder toward short. Picked up, thrown over to first. That is going to be out number 2. Nico Horner now batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a full count pitch to Nico Horner, and he's going to ground it directly to first. Van Meter wins the foot race to the bag, and the inning is over. The Cubs retired in order on 3 ground balls. We go to the bottom of the second of a 2-1 ball game. Moustakas facing Skubal here in the bottom of the second with a 1-1 count. Skubal pitching, and there's a pop up to center. Springer is chasing toward right center field. The catch is made for out number 1. Tyler Stevenson now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Full count pitch. Skubal delivering. Pop up to center this time. Coming in fast is Springer towards second base. He makes the catch for out number 2. Didi Gregorius is the next batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Gregorius waiting for the first pitch from Skubal, and there's a grounder past the first baseman into right field. That'll be a 2-out single. As Gregorius, he's heading for second. An aggressive base running play, and he makes it sliding into second with a 2-out double. Santana might have lost track of him out there a little bit in right field. So now Akiyama is going to bat with 2 outs in the tying run in scoring position. Skubal working with a 2-2 count, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the fastball at 94. So the inning is over. The Reds strand a runner. We go to the top of the third of a 2-1 ball game. Correa facing Miley here in the top of the third inning, leading off for the Cubs. 1-ball count. Correa grounding that one to short. The throw goes over to first, and that is out number 1. Anthony Rizzo now the batter. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Facing Wade Miley here in the top of the third inning. 1-2 is the count. Rizzo waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Rizzo goes down swinging at the slider. And next up, George Springer with 2 outs and nobody on. Springer waiting for the 3-1 pitch. And that's a check swing. It is called ball 4. So Springer takes his base as he stops at first with the walk, and it brings up Ryan Braun. 2 outs, 1 man on. Miley working with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch to Braun, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Braun goes down swinging. The Cubs still have a 2-1 lead. They strand 1, and we go to the bottom of the third inning. Skubal facing the pitcher Miley to lead off for the Reds in the bottom of the third inning. 1-2 is the count, and a liner into left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. The pitcher leads off the inning with a single. Not exactly the way you want to see that go. Now Friedel is the batter with a runner on first and nobody out. Here's a full count pitch, and that is strike 3 called. Friedel can't believe it. Right on the outside corner. Skubal with his 4th strikeout of the game. It brings up Josh Van Meter. He hit a home run his last time up. He's facing Skubal with 1 out, 1 man on. Let's see if Skubal has a little different approach in this at-bat. Here's a 2-2 count. And strike 3 is called. Gets him with the fastball at 95. So Van Meter succumbs. He is the 5th strikeout victim of the day for Skubal. And now Castellanos the batter. 2 outs and 1 man on. 2-1 is the count. Castellanos pokes that one into right field. That is going to be a 2-out single. So Castellanos stops at first. Miley takes second. And now Eugenio Suarez is the batter with 2 outs and 2 men on. Cubs up by 1. Here's the full count pitch. Inside for ball 4. Skubal issues the walk to load the bases. And now Moustakas is the batter. Skubal facing Moustakas with 2 outs and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Full count pitch, and that is strike 3 called right at the knees. Skubal got a generous call there from the umpire. So we go now to the top of the 4th inning of a 2-1 ball game. Santana now going to lead off for the Cubs in the top of the 4th. Here is the first pitch to Danny Santana. He's going to line that one down the right field line into the corner. That'll be extra bases. Santana rounding first, heading for second. He is going to stop with a stand-up double. So he leads off the inning, gets into scoring position for the Cubs as they look to extend this 2-1 lead. Phegley now the batter. He is facing Wade Miley with nobody out and the runner on second. Phegley working with a 1-2 count. There's a grounder over to second. The throw goes to first, and that is out number 1. And now Skubal is the batter with a runner on third and 1 out. We are going to try to see if the infield is drawn in. Gosh, I don't know if we try to do the safety squeeze here. Santana is fast. I feel like we have a good chance of succeeding with this. Skubal is an average bunter. I think we're going to go ahead and try it. We're going to try the safety squeeze here with 1 out and a runner on third in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. The bunt is laid down right back to the mound. The throw goes home, and he is safe. Santana is safe at home, and the Cubs score the run. It is 3-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. So, Skubal safe at first. And now Paradas the batter with 1 out and the runner on first. Cubs now 3-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-2 count, and Paradas is hit by the pitch. So he hits down to first base. So with 1 out, there's runners on first and second. Nico Hoerner is the next batter. Top of the 4th inning, Cubs up by 2. Here is the first pitch to Nico Hoerner. He's going to ground that one to third. The throw goes to second. There's no relay to first, however. And so the fielder's choice leaves the Cubs with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Carlos Correa now the batter. He's 1 for 2 today. Facing Miley in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Miley delivering. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Chased a curveball down and in. So the inning ends. The Cubs do score another run, taking a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 4th inning. Stevenson leading off against Skubal here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 is the count. And there's a drive deep left field. Going back, however, is Braun, and he's going to make the catch on the warning track for out number 1. Sounded good coming off the bat, but Braun had room to make the play, and that's the first out of the inning. Gregorius now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Full count pitch to Didi Gregorius. That is ball 4 low, so the walk is issued. Second of the day by Skubal brings up Shogo Akiyama. 1 out, 1 man on. First pitch, the runner goes. The throw goes down to second. He is going to be safe at second. Gregorius has his 2nd stolen base of the season. Akiyama now facing Skubal with 1 out and the runner in scoring position. Here's a 2-2 count. And the pitch to Akiyama, and he's hitting the knee. So that is the 2nd hit batsman of this game for Skubal, and Miley is the batter. We're going to have to warm up a reliever. This is not going well for Skubal here in the 4th inning. Let's see here. If we were going to warm up a reliever, what reliever would we want? We would want a righty. So the righty would be Junior Fernandez. All right, Skubal facing Miley here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gregorius on second, Akiyama on first. Double play would get the Cubs out of the inning, but I believe we're going to see a sacrifice here. Skubal with the first pitch. The bunt is laid down. Popping out from behind the plate is Phegley. He throws down to third, and he gets the lead runner for the 2nd out of the inning. Nice defensive awareness right there. And now Friedel is the batter with 2 outs and runners on first and second. We're going to visit the mound. Skubal says, I'm not tired at all. Let me pitch. Well, that's fine. But we're still getting time for that reliever to warm up. So Skubal facing Friedel now with 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs up by 2. Here's a 2-2 count. And the pitch. And strike 3 is called. So Skubal gets out of the jam. The Reds do not score. We go to the top of the 5th of a 3-1 ball game. We're going to sit down Junior Fernandez now. Anthony Rizzo going to lead off against Wade Miley here in the top of the 5th inning. In a 3-1 contest, Cubs are leading here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-2 is the count. And Rizzo grounds it back toward the mound. The pitcher has it, throws over to first. That is out number 1. Next up, George Springer with 1 out, nobody on base. 3-1 is the count to George Springer. And he takes way outside for ball 4. So Springer takes his base. As he heads down to first, it brings up Ryan Braun. Braun 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly in this ball game. 1 out, 1 man on, Cubs up by 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Braun grounds it to third. The throw goes to second, the relay to first, and that is a 5-4-3 double play, which will end the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 5th now of a 3-1 Cub lead. Skubal is going to face Van Meter to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. Skubal, after giving up the home run in the first at-bat, came back with a much better approach in the second at-bat. Let's see what he can do here. Skubal working with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, and there's a grounder to second. Horner has it. He throws to first, and that is out number 1. Castellanos now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Skubal working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a changeup. Got him way out in front of that one. Skubal now has 8 strikeouts in the game, and Suarez is the next batter. Bottom of the 5th inning and 2 outs. Skubal working with a 1-1 count, and a pop-up on the infield. The shortstop Correa goes over. He calls off Paradas and makes the catch to end the inning. So the Reds go down in order. We go to the top of the 6th of a 3-1 ball game. Now Skubal is due up third in the 6th inning, which means he is going to be pinch hit for. The relief pitcher is going to be, in this case, Blake Taylor, because they have a whole bunch of lefties coming up in this lineup. Now, Danny Santana facing Wade Miley. He's 1 for 2 today. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Cubs up by 2, looking for some insurance runs. Here's a 1-1 count. Santana driving that one into center field. That's going to drop in for a leadoff base hit. Santana stops at first with a single, and the Cubs are in business here in the top of the 6th inning. Fegley now the batter with a runner on first and nobody out. Fegley facing Miley, and we are going to be looking for a sacrifice right here. We're going to bunt Santana over to second in this situation, or try to anyway. Here's the first pitch. The bunt is laid down over toward third. The pitcher has it. He throws to first, and that's going to be out number 1. Santana easily advances to second, and now the pitcher spot comes up. And this will lead us to a pinch hitter, which is going to be Miguel Amaya coming off the bench. Amaya pinch hitting for the pitcher spot against the lefty Miley here in the top of the 6th inning with 1 out and a runner on second. Amaya facing Miley. 2-strike count. Here's the pitch, and he's going to ground it over to first. First baseman Van Meter will step on the base, and that's out number 2. However, Santana advances to third on the play, and it brings up Isaac Paradas with 2 outs and a runner 90 feet away. Paradas waiting for the 1-strike pitch, and he's going to ground that one over to third. The throw goes over to first, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs strand a runner. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the 6th of a 3-1 ball game. And now Blake Taylor is going to come into this ball game into the number 8 spot. Taylor facing Moustakas here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cubs up by 2. Taylor has thrown 10 innings, walked 3, struck out 9, and has an ERA of 0.9 this season. Taylor working with a 1-ball count. Here comes the pitch. And there's a pop-up to left. Chasing is Braun. He calls off Santana and makes the catch for out number 1. Stevenson now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-2 count. And the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Tyler Stevenson goes down swinging, and Didi Gregorius is the next batter. With 2 outs and nobody on, Taylor working with a 1-strike count. Here is the pitch to Gregorius. And a pop-up to right. Deep, but playable. Going toward the warning track is Santana. He makes the catch, which ends the inning. So the Reds go down in order. We go to the top of the 7th of a 3-1 ball game. Nico Hoerner leading off against Wade Miley here in the top of the 7th inning. 3-1 contest. Cubs are leading presently. Here's the 1-strike count. And the pitch. And a grounder to second. The throw goes over to first, and that is out number 1. Next up, Carlos Correa. He's 1 for 3 today, facing Miley with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 1-2 count, and the pitch to Correa. And that's a liner up the middle to center field. That'll be a 1-out single for Carlos Correa. Anthony Rizzo now the batter, with 1 out, 1 man on. Rizzo facing Miley with Correa on first. 1 ball count. And Rizzo's going to drive that one in the gap in right center field. I believe that is going to be gone. Anthony Rizzo with the 2-run homer. And the Cubs now have a 5-1 lead in the top of the 7th inning. 401 feet out to right center field. Nice piece of hitting right there by Anthony Rizzo. That is home run number 4 on the season for him. And now the Reds bring in a relief pitcher. Ryan Hendricks comes out of the Reds bullpen. He's thrown 3 innings, walked 1, struck out 2, and has an ERA of exactly 0. He will face George Springer here in the top of the 7th of a 5-1 ball game. Here's a 2-2 count, and the pitch to George Springer. Here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Springer goes down swinging. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Ryan Braun. The pinch hitter is going to be Mike Tauschman, and he is going to stay in the game and play right field, which will shift Santana over to left. So the lefty Tauschman is going to pinch hit here in the top of the 7th inning with 2 outs and nobody on. Hendricks facing Tauschman with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 is called. The changeup right down the middle. Tauschman was frozen by it. We go now to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch here in Cincinnati. The Cubs are leading 5-1. So, Blake Taylor is going to face Sogo Akiyama here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Taylor working with a full count. Here comes the pitch. That is inside for ball 4, so Akiyama draws the walk. And now Winkler is sent up to pinch hit. However, in the 7th inning, we're going to warm up Jimenez in case we get to Castellanos this inning. So we visit the mound. Blake Taylor says, I've got plenty left in the tank. Taylor facing Winker, with nobody out and the runner on first here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Taylor working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Winker goes down swinging. He chased one outside the zone. And now TJ Friedl is the batter. With 1 out, runner on first. Taylor facing Friedl with a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3 is called again. Friedl goes down looking. That was a changeup right at the knees. And now Van Meter is the batter with 2 outs and the runner on first. Taylor facing Van Meter, trying to get out of the inning. Here's the 2-2 count and the pitch. And strike 3 is called. So after the leadoff walk, Taylor strikes out the side. We go to the top of the 8th of a 5-1 ball game. So Jimenez is ready. He will be brought in next inning. And the new Reds reliever is going to be Ryan Newtoff. He has a 1-0 record. He's thrown 12 2/3 innings, walked 5, struck out 13, and has a 4.97 ERA. So Newtoff is going to face Santana, who is going to turn around and bat from the left side in this at-bat. He's 2 for 3 today. Santana waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Santana drives that one into left field. He got that one high off the wall. Going to be extra bases. Sliding in a second with a lead-off double. Santana gets on base for the Cubs. And now Josh Phegley is the batter. With nobody out, the runner on second here in the top of the 8th inning. And I thought that we were warming up Jimenez. However, we're going to leave him sitting for just a little bit longer. Phegley now facing Newtoff here in the top of the 8th. With a full count, here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, so Fegley goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. And now we're going to get a pinch hitter for Blake Taylor. This is going to be the lefty Mallex Smith. And Jimenez will be gotten back up in the bullpen. So, Mallex Smith steps up to the plate. He is 5 for 22 with 3 RBIs in the season. Newdoff facing Smith here in the top of the 8th with 1 out, the runner in scoring position. Here's a 2-0 count. And there's a grounder to first. Van Meter has it. He wins the foot race to the bag for the second out of the inning. Santana easily advances to third, and now Isaac Paradas the batter. He is 0 for 2 today. Facing Newdoff with runner on third and 2 outs. Here's a 2-0 count. And Paradas is going to ground that one to short. The throw goes over to first, and that will end the inning. So, the Cubs strand a runner. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th of a 5-1 contest. And Joe Jimenez is ready to come into this game. Now, Mallex Smith is actually going to stay in the game and play left field. Ehire Adrianza is going to come in and play third base. And the pitcher Jimenez is going to drop into the number 9 spot in the lineup. Now, Jimenez coming into this game, he has thrown 10 1/3 innings, walked none, struck out 15, and has a 2.61 ERA. He is going to face Castellanos, Suarez, and Moustakas here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A full count. Jimenez looking for the sign and delivering the pitch, and that is strike 3 called right at the letters. First out of the inning. I don't know what Castellanos was looking for, but it was not the fastball. So now Suarez, the batter, with 1 out and nobody on. Jimenez working with a 3-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Inside for ball 4. That is the first walk of the season issued by Jimenez. So Suarez is on first, and now Moustakas is the batter. And I feel like it would be prudent to warm up Jack Patterson right here on the off chance that we would get down to this group of lefties again in the Braves lineup. So he's good. Patterson is warming up. Jimenez facing Moustakas here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out and the runner on first. Here's a 2-2 count and the pitch, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Moustakas strikes him out with a high hard one at 95, and that brings up Tyler Stevenson. With 2 outs and the runner on first. Jimenez facing Stevenson in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch, and there's a drive deep left field. That is going to be gone. So Stevenson with the 2-run homer, 392 feet out to left field, making this a 5-3 ball game. And now Didi Gregorius comes up, and Jimenez is going to give way to the lefty Patterson in this scenario. Patterson will be brought in out of the bullpen. He has thrown 10 innings, walked 5, struck out 7, and has a 3.60 ERA. So he's going to face Gregorius with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch from Jack Patterson. And there's a pop-up on the infield. Correa coming in. He's going to put it away to end the inning. So the Reds score twice. We go to the top of the 9th of a 5-3 ball game. And now Nico Hoerner leading off for the Cubs here in the top of the 9th inning. Hoerner facing Newdoff with a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Grounder toward third, picked up and thrown over to first. That is out number 1. Correa, the next batter, with 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Carlos Correa. He takes way inside for ball 4, so Correa drawing the walk. He heads down to first. It brings up Anthony Rizzo. And this seems like a great situation to pinch run because, quite frankly, I mean, Correa is an average defender, but Jambrione, oh, he's actually not very good at all. I was thinking of Adrianza. We've already used him. So, no, we're not going to pinch run. We're going to hold off. Correa's on first. Rizzo is the batter, and now a new pitcher comes in out of the Reds bullpen, Joel Cunell. is now on the mound for Cincinnati. He's thrown 8 2/3 innings, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and a 5.19 ERA. Cunell will face Rizzo with 1 out in the top of the 9th and a runner on first. Here is the 0-2 count and the pitch to Rizzo. Here it comes. Rizzo takes strike 3 looking right on the outside corner. So that is the second out of the inning, and it brings up George Springer. 2 outs, runner on first. Springer waiting for the 2-1 pitch. And there's a drive to deep left field. He got all that one. He's going to round the bases. Home run for Springer. Springer, 414 feet out to left field. And the Cubs now have a 7-3 lead in the top of the 9th inning. Tauschman now the batter, facing Cunell with 2 outs and nobody on. That was Springer's 6th home run of the season. So, Tauschman with 2 outs and a 1-ball count waiting for the pitch. There's a liner into center field for another base hit. Tauschman will stop at first with a single, and that will bring up Erie Adrianza with 2 outs and 1 man on. Cunell facing Adrianza with a 1-ball count. Here's the pitch. Liner into left field for another base hit. The hit parade continues for the Cubs with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. And that brings up Josh Phegley. So we might actually get around to the pitcher's spot here. We better make sure we got somebody warmed up. Phegley facing Cunell with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here in the top of the 9th inning. Cubs looking for some more insurance runs. Here's the 1-strike count and the pitch, and there's a grounder up the middle. Shortstop has it, throws to second, and that will end the inning on a fielder's choice. We go to the bottom of the 9th of a 7-3 ball game. So Patterson is going to face Akiyama here in the bottom of the 9th. The Cubs are up by 4. Here is a full count pitch. Patterson delivers. Grounder towards second. Horner has it. He throws to first, and that is out number 1. Next up, Aristus Aquino is going to come off the Reds bench. He's going to pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Aquino is 4 for 31 with 2 home runs on the season. I guess if you look at it one way, he hits home runs 50% of the time that he gets a base hit, so that's something. Anyway, Patterson facing Aquino with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-2 is the count. Patterson delivering the pitch. And there's a pop-up to center. Coming in is Springer. He makes the catch. That is out number 2. And now TJ Friedl comes up with the Reds down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Patterson working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch to Friedl. And strike 3 is called. And the Cubs are victorious 7-3. They take over first place in the Central as they improve to 16-10, while the Reds drop half a game behind at 15-10. The player of today's game is the Cubs' Tariq Skubal. He threw 5 innings of 4-hit, 1-run baseball. He earns his 3rd win of the season. Walked 2 and struck out 8. The Cubs' bullpen was okay. Jimenez got hit for a couple of runs, but Taylor got a hold, and Patterson got his first save of the season. Wade Miley gets the loss for the Reds. He drops to 2-1. He threw 6 1/3 innings of 7-hit, 5-run baseball with 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. So, the first place Chicago Cubs are victorious over the Reds in today's ball game. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.